Hello, this is Watch It All About with another watch review, and in this review we're looking at quite a popular watch, both in opinion of people liking it and people disliking it. That is the Invicta Pro Diver, specifically the 9094 model, which is the blue model. Um, so here's the case that it comes in. Got a little booklet, like so, your warranty, etc. So there we go, and then it comes in this yellow box as well. There we go, and then we open it up, and there she is. So you can get these watches for, obviously with Invicta you do tend to get a lot of ridiculous RRPs on them. But generally, you can probably get one for about £70 or around $100. So we'll have a look to see if that's a good price to pay. So let's have a think about what you do get for your 70 quid. So first of all, talking about the specs here, you do only get manual crystal. Some watches around this price range, you might be able to get sapphire crystal, but it's not that common. Mineral crystal case back as well. You do get actually a very good movement in the Seiko NH35A, with also a very nicely decorated custom rotor. So to me already that is actually quite impressive for the price. You get quite a nice bracelet. It has got hollow end links, but all the links and the buckle as well are actually pretty good for the price. So obviously an automatic movement, which runs very smoothly and is very accurate straight out of the box usually. Size wise, it's 40mm in diameter. You have a lug-to-lug length of 48mm, and then a height of approximately 13mm. The bracelet is 20mm at the lugs, and then it reduces down to 18mm at the buckle. It also has a 200-meter water resistance rating, which is actually not bad. You can actually physically do diving with that kind of rating. Not deep sea diving or particularly deep scuba diving, but it's certainly good for snorkeling and going under the water as much as you can without any specialist equipment. So in that regards, it's actually a working diver, which is again quite impressive for the price. So some people love it, some people hate it. I personally think it's a very good watch for the price. I'm not against Submariner homages either. I really like my Steinhardt Ocean One and the Parnis Submariner homage as well. So I think in this regards, it looks exactly the same as any other Submariner homage. It's obviously based on it. So the only things that are different really is the logo and the text on it. And I'm not entirely sure if you can get a blue Submariner either. Don't quote me on that, but I don't know if you can. So in that regard, it's slightly different as well. Okay, so let me just give it a bit of a wipe down, and then we'll have a look at it in closer detail. So if we start then with the case, so all of the machining is actually quite good. The sides are polished, as you can see, and then we have this brushed top, which is at an angle, and then the case, the back of the watch is all polished as well, and then the case back is polished also. I'll just wipe that down a bit more. There we go. So the bezel is in a nice blue, same as the dial, and the action is good, but it does sound a bit cheap. The movement itself, it sounds a bit tinny, although it does line up actually quite surprisingly well, as you can see there, which for some watch manufacturers managed to miss that quite badly. Um, the bezel is nice and neat. Apart from the sound, it works well. The side of it, we have this Invicta engraving, which usually I'm quite against, but to be honest, seeing it in the flesh, it isn't quite as bad as you'd think. I've always viewed it as a bit rash and a bit ugly, but when you're wearing it, you don't really notice it too much, to be honest. It does look, in the pictures and in videos, it does look a lot more visible than it actually is. That's quite deeply engraved actually as well, so it does look pretty good quality. The crown has the Invicta logo stamped on the end. The screw, the thread is a bit of a pain to connect to when you're screwing it back in. So it does feel good in the hand actually when you are adjusting the time. So it does feel quite sturdy, but it's quite hard just to catch the thread again when you're screwing it back in. So you do have to push quite hard. So that might be a little bit of a concern there, but so far it's been perfectly fine. Moving on to the case back. Again, like the side of the case, all these engravings are actually really deep and quite impressive, really. And then we have a mineral crystal as well for this really nice custom rotor to be shown off. So there it is, in all its glory. So we might as well talk about the movement now. Seiko NH35A, as you can see there. So this is basically their upgraded version of their standard workhorse movement. So it has the extra ability of a hacking second hand and also hand wind capability. It does run only 6 beats per second rather than the higher beat of 8 beats per second. So that's 21.6 thousand beats per hour. But saying that, it is surprisingly smooth actually. If I just leave it like that, there are a lot more jerky movements than this, so it seems to be extremely smooth. These movements are renowned for being extremely accurate straight out of the box as well, and I found that to be the case with this watch. It doesn't lose any time at all, really. It does a very good job with its accuracy. So that's good, and also it's well renowned for being a very, very reliable movement as well. So, for a price of 70 quid, it's actually quite impressive to get this movement, especially being that other watch manufacturers who have this movement are such as Lou and Huey and Melbourne Watch Co. The watches they've got them in are around £200 plus. So to have it in a 70 quid watch is pretty good. So there we go, that's the movement, so you can't go wrong there. It's quite surprisingly good for the money. So the the dial now, as you can see, is blue, and it's quite a reflective blue. So it gives you a nice reflection, which again does seem to be quite high quality actually, and the colour matches the bezel well. As you can see from afar, it does seem to provide the same tone of blue, which can be quite difficult to get right. There we go. Also, everything on the dial is very well manufactured and applied. All these hour markers and the logo. We'll see later on when I put the macro lens on, but it all seems very, despite it being quite fine and detailed. For instance, the logo, it's all very well machined. So, I can't really say much bad about it for the price. The hands are obviously Mercedes hands based on the Submariner, but we have the cool counterweight of the second hand here of being the Invicta wings, which again, considering it's so small, it's very well made and manufactured, and we'll see again what it's really like in the under the macro lens. So we have the Cyclops here on the crystal, which doesn't particularly magnify it a massive amount, but it does give it slight magnification, as you can see there. See what the size is compared to the real size when I go like that. So that's quite good, and it seems to be in line quite well as well. There's a slight angle on it. It's slightly that way, if you can see. That bottom line there is slightly skew, but only a little bit. One other thing which is actually really impressive with this watch is the lume strength. So I'm really impressed by this, and if I just give it a quick charge with my UV light, you can see there. It is hard to show it, but there we go. So the strongest lume is on the hands, and the hour markers and the lume pip in the bezel are a little bit lighter in strength. But when you're coming in from the daylight and you glance down at your Invicta, it does you charge quite well, very well really. It even charges when you're in your house in a sunny room and you go into a slightly darker room. You can see the light from the lume, so it's surprisingly strong. Certainly much better than other watches in this price range, such as the Parnis Submariner or some other Chinese watch. It's even better than some of the Christopher Wards, which are 3 times as expensive. So in that regard, I've been quite impressed with it. So moving on to the bracelet, it's a polished centre link and then brushed side links, and it's polished down the side as well. I do quite like how every link has a Invicta stamped into it, which is quite deep. So that's quite a nice little touch that I've liked. And also, as I mentioned before, we have unfortunately hollow end links, but they do seem to line up quite well with the case and the lugs. So from the top you can't actually tell the difference at all. It's just that end links which are solid are better basically. So that is a shame, but again, for a watch this price, I don't suppose you can really complain that much. The buckle has the nice Invicta logo, again surprisingly deeply engraved on it, and then it's double locking. This elbow joint could probably be a little bit better and sturdier, but again, for the price it's perfectly acceptable. So you close it and then you close it again by the top flap, and I haven't had any issues with it at all. It's very sturdy and it's actually very comfortable. This is a tried and tested style of bracelet really, the oyster style. So it does tend to be very comfortable on, and it's easy to put on and take off as well. Okay, so let me get the macro lens on and we'll have a look at it in closer detail. Okay, I'll just give it a wipe down. So let's look at the dial first. So there's the logo. You see the wings icon is applied, but also the actual word Invicta is applied as well, which is quite surprising and nice to see. As you can see, it's, considering the size, it is very accurately made. Looking at the hands as well, see that is, for the size, really well made as well, very accurate. And then we have a pip on the end of the second hand. You can see the sweep of the movement as well. And then the other hands, as the Mercedes hour hand, and then the straight pointed baton minute hand. So let's continue looking at the try getting, it's a bit bright outside, so there we go. So all these minute marker, hour markers are also very well made. You can see there, you can't really fault them, apart from the loom could be a little bit stronger, but it's still surprisingly good. The printing is all pretty fine as well. And you can see how shiny it is from that reflection there from the second hand. Okay, so if we move on to the case now, just give it a wipe down the side. We have this Invicta etching, surprisingly deep. And then the other side we have the crown with the logo embossed in the end, and the grip. We have this brushed top as well. And here's the bezel, this nice toothed edging. The bezel insert. And here we have all the printing on the bezel is all pretty accurate as well. And there we go. So moving on to the case back, if I just give it a quick wipe down, have a look at the deep engraving. There we go. Surprisingly deep for the price. Usually it's just laser etching, but to see it actually being engraved is a good positive. And then of course we have the movement. So this is a very nice touch, this decent custom printed rotor, which you don't see too often, to be honest, on watches below 200 quid. So on a watch for 70 quid it's quite nice to see. There's the balance wheel moving away. Nice jewel. And then you can see the brushed finished all these bridges as well. I'll just spin it around a bit. Have a look at a bit more of the, can adjust it there if you wanted to. So there we go. Yeah, quite impressive to see that movement in a watch costing this much. So let's just have a quick look at the bracelet now. So, there's the polished center link, and the brushed outer link, and then it's polished on the inside. And then if we look at the underside, you'll see the Invicta logo, and then we have a hollow end links as well. So the buckle, there it is, has the Invicta logo deeply etched on it, which again is nice to see, because usually it would be laser etched. And then if I just shut it up, you'll see the top flap as well. And there we go. Okay, so the the Invicta Pro Diver, some people really despise them, but I mean, that is down to personal taste. Personally, I can't say that it's a bad watch, because in all honesty, for the price you pay, it it is a really good watch. For about 70 quid, you know, the specs you get, it is mineral crystal, but that's literally the only thing that you can worry about, really. You know, it's got a great movement in for the price, the Seiko NH35A. The loom is really good for the price. The dial is very nicely made as well. Everything's just really smart, and I do really enjoy wearing it. So for me, I think it's a great purchase for 70 quid. And I know some people may, you know, may not agree with that. I do know sometimes they have a bit of quality control issues, so you may get a duff watch, unfortunately. But if you get a good one, you will get a really good one. So in that regard, I'm really happy with it personally. Okay, so this was the Invicta Pro Diver 9094 watch review, and that's what it's all about.